Hello Africa, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great, mama.
Hey, greetings. I am Harry again with the Afro-Scope Project, where we bring the African ways of life to the world. And when we do this, we have two areas of it. One is that we promote the good traditions, the good elements, the good customs of the African culture on the one hand, and on the other hand, we condemn some bad things that are happening in Africa, the bad traditions, either because they are outdated in a modern world or because they were actually bad from the onset, from the ancient times. They were bad traditions, so we condemn them. Now, today, I'm bringing you another edition of the series that we title AfroCultural Movies Reviews, and this is where we give you infotainment. In other words, we use some contents of some good African movies that have some African traditional elements to inform you about those elements. Yes, indeed. And today, I am bringing you a tradition, a system that we at AfroScope believe that it should not continue in the modern Africa. And it is called the Osu Caste System in southeastern Nigeria. But before we get there, I'm going to give you some message from America in terms of the definition of the word culture. Here we go. Okay, welcome back. As I said already, I am bringing you today what we call Osu Caste System or Osu Caste Tradition in Southeast Nigeria in West Africa. What is that? Of course you want to know, right? Okay, but before I get there, let's begin from the beginning. And the beginning is introducing the movie in review. So, here we go.
The Prince, you're welcome. The Prince, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome home. Thank you. My elders. Igbo.
So you were looking at the palace, the living room of the palace of the king of Amankwo Kingdom, the Igbo people of the southeast Nigeria. The king and his cabinet members, otherwise known as his elders in council, are gathered here to welcome the king's son, the prince and heir apparent to his throne, back to the kingdom after his education in the USA.
My son, once again, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
I thank you, the elders of Amankwo.
Igwe.
I thank you very much for coming to welcome back my son after staying away in the States for studies. Thank you so much. My son, once again, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No. Thank you. You're welcome very much. Once again, you are welcome. Thank you so much, my great people of Amankwo. Very soon, the merriment will start.
I told you. I told you.
It's not unexpected. I pushed my system to accommodate.
Meanwhile, life goes on in the kingdom.
Whenever you're touching me like this, it's sweeting me.
Take it easy.
But wait, though. Hope your father is not around.
Around doing what? My father is in the palace. By this time, Hank Serena and Waji, they must be sharing cola. You know they are waiting for the arrival of the prince.
Yes.
So,
So we have this house. So
Anna, I got 5 rooms. 5 rooms and parlor.
We are starting from the parlor.
Hey! What are you doing with this girl? What are you doing in my man's house?
I should be asking you.
What are you doing here?
Hey, take it easy.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Hey! Azoka!
My son, the Prince of Amankwo, I know after staying many years in the United States, you must have lost a lot about our tradition and culture.
Well, Dad, truth be told, I have actually forgotten a lot of your so-called cultures and tradition. You know, in the States is very different with what is obtainable here.
My son.
At AfroScope, we totally frowned at the attitude of the America-influenced prince when he says something like, your so-called traditions. No, we disagree with that kind of attitude. However, we do agree with him on certain things about some traditions that are not good.
Son, we are here to remind you about some important aspects of our tradition. And we are referring to it as so-called.
I'm sorry, pardon me. I did not mean it that way. I was only trying to make emphasis on the kind of outdated games you guys play here.
My son, that thing you called outdated thing is what we have respect for. Let me tell you, as the Prince of Amankwo, the heir apparent, first and foremost, the first thing you have to do is to make sure you get married so that when I'm no more, he will take over.
Exactly. Our prince. You have to get married as soon as possible. And you must make sure that you don't get married to an Osu.
Osu, I have heard about that before. Can you kindly remind me what it is again?
Yeah, Osu, that's outcast, people rejected by the gods. Date awares anybody who may goes with them. Did I make myself clear?
Exactly. They are rejected humans.
Exactly.
Outcasts. People excommunicated from the assembly of freeborns in the entire land. And you must make sure you don't communicate with them in any aspects.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I heard that.
And so it is that the Osu Caste controversy begins from the living room of the king to the bedroom of his wife, the queen.
Can't even believe what Dad and Onu is telling Person Nandi.
What are they telling him?
Same Osu issue that has brought so many issues into this community. They're telling him not to mingle with anybody that is an Osu.
Yeah. Hey, I have spoken to your father and told him so many times to abolish this horrible Osu tradition, but he will not listen. God created all of us equally and gave us equal rights as human beings.
Yes, now.
I don't understand the rationale behind segregating some people and denying them the freedom of association with other people. We should be given the right of association as human beings. Anyway, I am very confident of the son that I gave birth to. I know you will not listen to them.
I want you to cut off anything you have to do with Obioma. Stop seeing Obioma, please. If you love me enough like you claim.
You know, I already cut off anything I have with Obioma. I have nothing. In fact, there is nothing I'm doing with Obioma.
It's time for a little confrontation between the king and his queen, one for and the other against the Osu Caste System.
Your Highness.
Yes, my queen. What is it?
Is it true you discussed something about Osu with the Ono?
Yes, we did. We told him to be very careful with them, not to mingle with them at all.
Here, Igwe, you seriously don't want to abolish that disgusting tradition? You intend to pass it down to our children in this time and age?
Woman, he is the prince and the heir apparent to the throne. He needs to know everything about our tradition.
That disgusting tradition that enables some people to alienate other people for whatever reasons. Igwe, I have told you to abolish that tradition and you don't want to. I will.
Woman, please, I was thinking of something very important before you came in to interrupt me. Please let me be, or should I leave this place for you?
Igwe.
We still have the nagging question about the Osu Caste System.
I told you that I don't believe in this Osu thing. I don't believe in... Okay, what made you an outcast? What is the origin of this Osu, this outcast that everybody is saying? What is the origin? You want to be in this generation and suffer for the sins of your great-grandfathers. Most of them even existed without wearing clothes. Ancient people, the sin they commit. Okay, what sin did they commit? If they tell you now to just tell us one sin that they committed that made them maybe call them outcasts, can you tell us one?
Good question. What is the origin of the Osu Caste System? Those youngsters do not know, but I do, and I'm going to give you 3 or 4 of them. You would not believe some of them, actually. For instance, you know, in the good old days, twins were seen as abomination. They were seen as something from the devil. So if you had twins in those days, both the children, the twins, and the parents will be cast to deities, to the shrines of deities, and nobody would have anything to do with them anymore. So they became outcasts. That's one reason. Can you believe that? Remember, today, if anybody, any family has twins, is celebrated. Everybody rejoices. Wow, my wife just had twins. But in those days, it was a taboo. So those were people who were now called Osu. One of them, one of the reasons. Okay, here is the second one. Again, slaves. Yes, slaves were, and remember, slaves did not make themselves slaves. Okay, but once they were captured, once they were made slaves, they became outcasts in the community. you no longer have anything to do with the rest of the community. Also, another one. This is very, very interesting. When somebody, even today, it does happen. You see some rich people who are oppressing the poor, who, maybe trying to take their land illegally and all that stuff. In those days, if a rich person or an influential person tried to oppress you, to do something wrong to you, if you ran to shrines of some deities, they will no longer oppress you. They will leave you alone, okay? Because they were scared of being punished by the gods of the land. However, that also now earned you something bad. You now became an outcast because you were now seen as belonging to the deity. Therefore, you ain't got anything to do with the rest of the community. Now, you see, I will stop here because there are so many other reasons why people were called Osu those days, in the ancient days. Now, the question you ask yourself is, this is 21st century. Some of these things happen in God knows what, 5th century, 10th century, and what have you. So why should those traditions continue today? And people suffering for something that they didn't do, something that because sometimes some of the reasons for being an Osu was also because somebody committed a crime in your family, and therefore you become the family became an outcast. But then the question is, why punish me today for a crime that my grandfather or great-grandmother committed? So you see why the Osu Caste System is very, very unacceptable in the 21st century. Okay? Now, let's move on. I must mention that the Osu Caste System of the Igbo tribe of Nigeria is only our case study. Such oppressive tradition of segregation does exist in various forms and in various names around Africa, and indeed around the world.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Papa. What is it?
Listen. Who is that girl you spent the night with?
The girl I spent the night with. And she's my girlfriend now.
It's your girlfriend? Girlfriend. You are mingling with the daughter of an Osu, an outcast.
Papa, see, let me.
Do you know that you are mingling with a girl that is an Osu?
Papa, leave that. But that no. See, Papa, my body system does not recognize Osu. My thing. Osu is not my thing.
Okay, listen to me very well. See, don't ever touch that girl again. And don't allow her come inside this compound again. Talk less of touching her. Did you hear me?
Why?
Our tradition does not permit it. Yes.
My own in your tradition. What's my concern? Is your tradition in any way my business?
That was a confrontation between the old generation who want to hold onto the nonsensical Osu Caste system, and the younger generation who say, heck, doggone no, it ain't going to continue. And then you're talking about a Casanova, the village Casanova, who has several Osu girlfriends, and the dad wants him to drop them. Of course, you know that ain't going to happen.
Beautiful continent, beautiful people. Africa gets everything. Make we know the jackpot.
Babe, have you heard of a group of people called Osu?
They are ill-fated people. they are alienated from citizens of a community. For reasons I cannot explain. Unfortunately, my father's lineage is an Osu. Hence, I am one of them.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
I cannot joke with this kind of matter. I can't joke with something of this nature. My father told me that I am an Osu. That's why in this village people don't associate with us.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Babe, wait, is this a dream? Are you pranking me or something?
Babe, you're scaring me. What is it? Do your people reject Osus? You're scaring me. Talk to me. What is it? What's the problem?
Yes, indeed. No. The Americanized prince of Amanko Kingdom has just realized that his fiancée is an Osu from another kingdom, and his own kingdom forbids his association with her in any form whatsoever. So it is a taboo for him to even think of marrying her.
My prince, you mean to tell me that after your years in abroad, your exposure and everything, you still believe in all our traditions 100%?
Not really. But Otumsi, I am worried. You know, Oma, my fiancée, is an outcast. And on getting home, seeing the fetish priest placing all sorts of curses on outcasts and anyone that mingles with them, it got me worried.
Please don't allow yourself to be bothered by all those curses and all death threat and all those things. Some of them are not real. Okay, take me as your second example. You see all the Osus in this community. I've been relating with them. I've been going to their houses. Sometimes I have so many friends there. I sleep there. I eat with them. I dine and wine with them. Nothing happens. In fact, my best girlfriend now is an Osu. What happens to me? Have I died? Have I died? Maybe I'm still enjoying myself. Nah, Ako. Leave all those things. Most of them are not real. Telling you.
As you have heard, the village Casanova is a living proof that nothing happens to anybody who associates with the forbidden Osu people. Now he serves as a pillar of support to the prince.
So, have you asked anyone about the Osu stuff? What was their response? Is it a yes?
I am actually very disturbed. I mean, coming back home and seeing a native doctor placing all sorts of curses on the outcast and anyone that mingles with them, it actually intensified my fear.
Then we can be together. You can't...
Baby, stop. Don't ever say that. When I say I love you, I mean it. And loving someone comes with loving them with everything that comes with them, whether good or bad.
And I love you too. And I'm willing to do anything to ensure that we end up together.
So, now let's watch and see what the new generation lovers do about the nonsensical tradition. However, sorry to tell ya, you're going to have to wait until I come your way again with part 2 of this movie review of Against Tradition. Part 2 is coming your way in a couple of days, actually. Okay? And the questions are the prince and his fiancée actually ready to go against tradition, as the title of the movie says? Are they going to take those chances of maybe dying or bringing some doom to his father's kingdom? And if so, is his father, the king, willing to allow him to take that chance, knowing that he is his only son that will take over the throne, his heir apparent, when he dies? Is he willing to take that chance to allow his son to go ahead and take, and go through that risk just because of the love of a woman? Is he willing to do that? Now, if you were his father and you are not sure what could come out of it, would you allow your son, your only son, your heir apparent, to actually go ahead and take that risk just because of a woman? Because they will say just because of a woman, right? Okay, good. So these are some of the questions that I will bring you some answers to in part 2 of Against Tradition Movie Review. Alright? And of course, you know that for you to get to see this part 2 as soon as I release it, then you're going to have to subscribe to Afro-Scope.com so that you will be there to get it as soon as I release it. Chances are high that you are watching this on Afro-Scope.com. So all you have to do is click the button that says subscribe, and voila, there you are. Okay? And until then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Make we come together